Okay, so I've added a Power Apps flow, which is triggered by a button press. And what I'm going to do is just push some data into the custom logs within App Insights into Log Analytics workspace. So the first thing I need to do is obviously set up the connector, and you can see that I've done that already. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send data directly into Log Analytics. And I need to tell it which table to go to. So I create the table myself, and then it will follow the structure of data that comes in. So it's a pretty good way to do it. So as you can see, I've gone and popped down various things here, and you can see these are colored up a little bit differently. So if I want the workflow ID, you can see it's pretty easy. You just workflow it, and then you get the hierarchy. You can get this by running one, and you can just you can see the workflow ID. So it's pretty easy. That's the hierarchy of JSON, which is run, and then name, the location, which in my case is Europe, or the data center, I'm not sure. But it's, it's workflow, question mark is pretty straightforward syntax. I'd probably want to take something like this dev environment out of an environmental variable. I can actually get the name of the flow, so you can see it's tagged, and then flow display name. So you're getting pretty used to it. Also, then I want to know the time that I'm sending this message, putting it into thing is the UTC to now time. And then I also have this send after. So what I'm doing first of all is I'm actually going and getting the start time, and you can go and get this from the header that comes in, which is this trigger outputs headers, and then it's MS user timestamp. There's quite a few other ones. You can see I've used the same approach here, and that gives me the client session ID. I may turn around and want to actually know who it is. So this would be me firing it off from my app. So you can see I'm here and I'm firing it off. That's it in a nutshell. And then what I do is I put the reference here so that I can easily go and use this. What would be quite nice is I'll pick this up and then push it into Teams. If I put this on the end of every flow, I don't need to worry about anything else. It will just go and log it. And then as an optional aside, obviously I can send a return. And what I can do in there is also put a workflow and a code. And that's kind of useful if you want to tie it back together, but you can pretty much get it already out from where it is. But let's say you wanted to do some error trapping or some custom logic, depending on what the outcome is. Yeah, you can do some smarter stuff. Let's go have a look at the code. What I'm doing is I'm running the workflow. Mine's called log workflow, which is just going to log it. So, you can call it from wherever you want in your code. And I've got it on a button on that button at the moment, this button here. And then optionally, I'm actually going and I'm picking up the collection response, and I'm going and saying, okay, let's deal with this. This ran successfully, or if it didn't, I can deal with it. So you can see you can sort of get some fairly decent error trapping. You can see there that I'm also tracing, and then I'm going and adding some custom, I think they call it a custom record, which is basically just some custom information. So I'm just saying, what screen it was on, which workflow instance I ran, and the code that I got back, so I might be, 1 to me means it's good, or, I don't know, I guess it's like a 200 HTTP code. But, you could also make logical decisions out of the code that you get back.